Everybody's moving to these Metro Detroit cities, and for good reason, which I'm going to go over in this video, so make sure you stick around to the end. But if you're anything like me, and if I were moving my family to a new state, I would 100% have some questions. Probably the same questions that you have, and which is why you're here watching this video, to get those answered. You know, questions like, where are the good school systems at? What cities are best for families? Where are the parks? Where are the recreations? Where are the things that are really important to us? And what is the overall vibe and lifestyle like in those cities? So those are the things that I'm going to cover in this video, and make sure you stick around to the end because I'm going to give you my personal recommendation on how to make your move here to Metro Detroit as smooth as possible. And hey, if you're new to me and new to my channel, my name's Eric, and my team and I have helped hundreds of people in your exact shoes make that move here to Michigan, and we absolutely love it. So if you are making that move here in 1 month or 1 year from now, do not hesitate to get a hold of us. So all you got to do is click the link in the description below. It'll take you to my calendar, and we'll get a game plan together to make your move here as smooth as possible. And now let's dive in and take a look at where everybody's moving to here in Metro Detroit. Now, the first city we're going to be taking a look at today is Ann Arbor, Michigan. And this is actually where my wife and I ended up moving to when we moved from California back to Michigan. And Ann Arbor just holds a special place in our hearts. We lived there for a period of time. That's where our first daughter was born. And we had this like little crappy apartment when we first moved to Ann Arbor. I remember the look on Brianna's face when we literally stepped foot in the apartment. The floor was like sloped inward like this. And we both just looked at each other and said, well, we know it's only temporary, so let's just get through this. When I moved there, the overall sense of vibe that I got was this innovation hub. You know, I was in the startup world, and that's still true today. There's so much going on from a startup world and innovation, but there's also a lot more to it. You know, you got the University of Michigan, which brings a whole nother level of academia, you know, to the mix. And there's just a ton of culture here in Ann Arbor around the art scene, around music and things like that. And what I think really makes Ann Arbor special is the downtown area and how it's connected to the University of Michigan. There's so much happening between the downtown, you know, area, Main Street, Carytown, and then connected to the university. And I don't know a lot of cities that have done it this well with a college town in it. If you do know of some, drop those in the comments below. I'd love to learn, you know, what those are and how they differ from Ann Arbor. But I just know by talking with people that have been to other college towns and been traveling that they always say like this downtown and this university of how integrated it is really cool. And the other reason why so many people are moving to Ann Arbor is for the outdoor and green space. And Ann Arbor has tons of parks. You know, that's the one thing. If you look up the name Ann Arbor, it is AKA Tree Town. And there's a ton of trees. And more so, we're seeing a lot more families, you know, move to Ann Arbor. This is something we've seen for a long period of time. Ann Arbor has great schools, so it naturally attracts families, and those families are looking for a great place to live. And your real estate possibilities are endless. There's all sorts of architecture from mid-century modern to old Victorian style homes to newer style homes. It just depends on really what you're looking for. So if you do have questions about Ann Arbor, drop those in the comments below, or better yet, reach out to me. And the next city we're going to take a look at today is Birmingham, Michigan. And my dad used to work in Birmingham, and he used to take us to work occasionally. And I used to get so excited because I loved going to downtown Birmingham. I thought it was like the biggest city. Because we grew up in St. Clair Shores and we really didn't have a downtown. The tallest building in St. Clair Shores was like 1.5 stories, maybe 2 stories. But going to Birmingham was like a completely new area, and it was tall buildings. When I say tall, like maybe 3 to 4 stories. But it just felt big as a kid. And my recollection of it as a child is still true today. You know, it's a small town vibe with big city amenities, and there's a lot going on. And what makes Birmingham so special is the downtown area and how walkable it is. You know, this is a very highly sought after community. People move here just for these reasons alone. You know, you got the school systems, you got the downtown area with dining and shops and parks and everything that you could imagine. So whether it's a day-to-day, like visiting the coffee shop or going shopping or going out to eat, you got fine dining, you got casual dining, all the options are there. And then plus there's multiple parks in the downtown area and the surrounding areas where you could walk to. You know, the kids can go play. There's playscapes, there's playgrounds, you know, there's fields that they can go play football, soccer, you know, things in the summer. And that is really what Birmingham is all about. You know, you could live within, you know, 5 to 10 minutes and walk downtown or bike downtown. So when it comes to school systems in Birmingham, they are top rated. That's the other reason why people want to live here is for the school systems, the downtown, and the real estate. Some of the nicest real estate here in Southeast Michigan is in Birmingham. So when it comes to buying a house in Birmingham, you know, that's going to run you right around $690,000 for the average home in Birmingham. And if you're looking for a condo, that's going to run you $373,000. And of course, if you do have any questions on Birmingham, drop those in comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and tap that little bell so you're the first to learn every time we come out with a new video, which is every week. All right, so moving on to our next city, we're taking a look at Troy, Michigan, which is 25 minutes north of downtown Detroit in Oakland County, really near Birmingham where we just were. And Troy is really best known for its great school systems. It's actually ranked the #1 school system here in Metro Detroit, and it has been for a while. Like, one thing's for sure that I can tell you is it's family oriented. So there is, you know, more established neighborhoods in the, you know, $1 million price range, but there's also some very affordable homes in Troy. Now, Troy is where Somerset Mall is, and Somerset's just a great mall. You know, it's got designer stores in there, big box stores, and everything in between. So the best way I can describe Troy from a lifestyle perspective is I'll share the story with you. You know, we just had a client move from Canada to Michigan, and Troy was one of the areas that they're looking at. They were also looking at Novi, they were looking at Birmingham, they're looking at Royal Oak, and they ultimately decided Troy was the place they wanted to live for a couple reasons. You know, Troy's home to a lot of headquarters and a lot of office complexes. A lot of people who live in Troy also work in Troy. So that was one of the reasons, but you know, they also looked at a few things like school systems and the access to parks and recreation, and they felt Troy checked a lot of those boxes. And when you look at the price of real estate in Troy, you know, the average home is going to be $499,000 for a single family home. And if you're looking for a condo, that's going to run you $330,000 on average. Next up on our list today, we're taking a look at Novi, Michigan, and the overall vibe in Novi is really a new modern development with a community focus. So what you're going to find is a lot of homes that were built in the late 90s, early 2000s, and then you can also find some new construction options in Novi as well. Novi is on the western part of Metro Detroit, you know, easy access to 96 or 275 if you're getting downtown or getting east and west. So proximity to highways is really good there as well. But what Novi is really all about is, again, you see this theme, is it's really family focused, right? Good school systems in Novi, great place to live. So tons of subdivisions, tons of neighborhoods. Novi does have a major shopping center, which is 12 Oaks, and you got your big box stores. And then if you want a little bit more boutique-y things, you're really close to Northville, so you can head out down to Northville. So if you're looking for great schools and great parks and recreations, Novi is a top option that you should be considering. But the average home is going to run you right around $528,000. And if you're looking for a condo, that's going to run you right around $255,000. And last up on our list today is Plymouth, Michigan. And this is a city that I think a lot of people who are moving to Michigan just really sleep on. You know, it doesn't get brought up in a lot of conversations because you start looking at Detroit and Ann Arbor as those two central hubs, and then you start looking at, you know, the school systems, and Novi and Troy and all Birmingham always come up on the school system search. But if you are moving here, Plymouth is definitely an option that you want to consider. I've said this before. If we did not live here in Brighton and we were going to live anywhere in Metro Detroit, Plymouth would be at the top of our list. And it's for all the reasons I'm going to get into, you know, schools, the amenities downtown, you know, the parks and recreations, all of those things give me a good sense of family and connectiveness. All right, so the overall vibe in Plymouth, you know, you kind of mix this historic downtown with more of a modern feel, which I love about it. And downtown is really the focal point for me in Plymouth. You know, you got Kellogg Park, which is right downtown, right smack dab in the middle of it. And there's events there pretty much all year round. Whether it's spring, summer, winter, there's always something going on. You know, one of my favorite things to do in the summertime is the music in the park. And we took the girls down there countless times last summer, met up with my sister and their kids and just let them run around, right? There's music going on. There's vendors. You can grab popcorn. You got Bigalore Pizza right across the street to grab some pizza, go sit on the lawn, listen to music. So when it comes to real estate in Plymouth, there's a lot of different options. You know, downtown being so great with some of the new construction homes, some of the historic homes, and blending those together, you know, I'm always amazed. And then you start moving out a little bit into some of the subdivisions, and you got your luxury subdivisions. You got, you know, your subdivisions that were built in the 70s, 80s, 90s. So there's a little bit of a price point for everybody. But the average home in Plymouth is going to run you right around $475,000 for the single family home, and about $296,000 if you're looking for a condo or a townhome. If you do have any questions about that, drop those in the comments below. Better yet, get a hold of me and I'll get you all the information on every single new construction here in Plymouth. Plymouth. Now, in the beginning of this video, I promised you I was going to share how to make your move to Metro Detroit as smooth as possible. And here's what you're going to want to do. Now, you're going to want to get a list out and you're going to want to prioritize what's important to you. Write down in the order of importance what comes first. Is it schools? Is it the house? Is it budget? And the next thing we're going to do is take that list and the order of importance, and we're going to narrow down the communities that offer those type of things, whether it's budget or good school systems. We'll know where you can be looking. Now, if it's schools, let's just use as an example. You got best school systems in Troy, Novi, Ann Arbor. Okay, great. So we take those 3 cities, and then what you're going to do is I'm going to send you out into the wild. I'm going to have you tour those communities so you can get a feel of what it's like to live there. Go visit the grocery store. Go visit, the neighborhoods in the early morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, so you can get a sense of some of the activity that's going on. You're going to want to act as a local. Go out to eat, restaurants, like I said, grocery store, so you can see exactly what it's like and who lives there. And then once you've done that, you may have narrowed in what community feels like home. So we can start focusing our real estate search right in that community. And that becomes the most efficient way to find your home here in Metro Detroit. So if you do have any questions about anything we covered in today's video, any of the cities that we covered, or any of the cities that we didn't cover, reach out to me. I'd be happy to answer those, or better yet, drop a comment below. And don't forget to subscribe and tap that little bell so you're the first to learn about every video we put out each week. And I will catch you on the next one.